All right, number 8, the sum of two numbers is 24. Sum means add. The sum of the squares of the two numbers is 306. What is the product of the two numbers? All right, I'm going to write an equation. So sum of the two numbers, I'm going to call the first number x, the second number y. And since sum means add, I'm adding those together and getting 24. My second equation is the sum of the squares of those numbers. So x squared plus y squared equals 306. And the question is, they want to know what the product, and product means multiply, so x times y equals what? Alright, well, this is a system of equations, so we can either solve it for y and graph it. We can do elimination, but looking here, it looks like it might be tricky for elimination because I would actually have to square both sides of these, and that means use FOIL or the box method to expand out x plus y. That could get pretty messy, so I don't think that's the best way to do this one, although it could work, just a little more time consuming. I think substitution is probably the best way. So I can solve this one, the first one for y, or for x, and plug it in to the other equation. So if I subtract x to both sides, minus x, then it would just be y equals 24 minus x. And then I can plug it into this equation. So every time I see a y, so I have x squared plus, I'm going to put, instead of y, I'm going to put 24 minus x, and then squared equals 306. This is substitution. And then it's not as simple as just squaring each of these. That's not how you do that. Okay, we need to expand it out. So I'm going to do I like to do the box method. So if I do 24 minus x, and then 24 minus x, and I multiply those two binomials out, I'm going to get 24 times 24 is 576. 24 times negative x is negative 24x. Negative x times 24 is negative 24x. And then negative x times negative x is positive x squared. So I'm going to copy that down here. I have x squared plus, and then 576. And then negative 24x minus 24x, those add up to negative 48x. And then plus x squared equals 306. And I want to combine my like terms now, so x squared plus x squared gives me 2x squared. And I'm going to put this in the correct order, so that's decreasing exponents. So minus 48x comes next, plus 576 equals 306. And I want to solve it for 0, so I'm going to subtract out the 306 from this side. And that gives me 2x squared minus 48x, and then plus 270 equals 0. And one neat thing about factoring is that you can make it simpler by dividing by a common factor. So I'm going to divide this whole thing by 2. So if I divide the whole thing by 2, that gets rid of my lead coefficient. So that would just be 2x squared divided by 2 is, whoops, it didn't come through, is just going to be a x squared, or 1x squared. Negative 48x divided by 2 is negative 24x. And then 270 divided by 2 gives me 135. So plus 135. And now I can solve it. Now keep in mind at this point we do have a calculator, so we could just type in this function under y1 and type in this function under y2 and do the second calc intersect to see their two intersection points. That's definitely one way we can do it. I'm actually going to go ahead and finish it out the way I have been, so I'm going to factor this out. So multiplying my outside numbers, 1, that's really a 1, so 1 times 135 gives me 135. They need to add up to my top number, the negative 24. So what factors of 135 add up to negative 24? And that would be negative 15 and negative 9. So that means x minus 15 and x minus 9 equals 0. And if I solve each of these for 0, I'm going to get 15 and 9 for my two solutions. And they just want us to say what they multiply to, so 15 times 9. Remember x times y, so 15 times 9 gives us 135. All right, and I should be able to plug those back into this, and it should work. 15 plus 9 gives us 24, and it does. And maybe you see earlier where we had the 135. Do you see it right there? So that's all they were asking for, the product. And that's it for number 8.